Happy Friday, first graders. All right, I'm jumping right into this and taking some advice from James. I need to hold the pictures back further and actually look at the screen so you can actually see the picture, because apparently the pictures I've been showing have been cut off, so my bad. Chapter 6, a donkey? What are we gonna do? Mutt asked. She doesn't stand a chance against that guy. Did you see the size of him? Stripes exclaimed. He's a giant, Poo Poo confirmed. Shh, keep it down. Let me think, Stick Dog said quickly. All of them were edgy and nervous. Every movement they made from an ear scratch. Hold on. I need to slow down. From an ear scratch to a head turn was sudden and fast. Does anyone have a chainsaw? Asked Poo Poo. Why? Asked Stripes. I was going to cut a hole in the side of the house to get Karen out. Good idea, said Stripes, but I don't have one. Mutt said, I'm fresh out of chainsaws. How about a motorcycle helmet? Why? Asked Mutt. I was going to strap it on, said Poo Poo. He demonstrated with his paws, placing an imaginary helmet on his head, and then run repeatedly into the house until I made a hole. Then we could pull Karen out. I'm prepared to do it, without the helmet, of course. You are great at smashing into things head first, said Stripes with genuine admiration, but I don't have one. Mutt spread out his legs and shook his entire body vigorously for 7 seconds. From his tangled fur fell an old rubber ball, a pen cap, 2 bottle caps, a shoelace, and a yellow marker. He looked around at the stuff scattered on the ground. You could tell he was hoping to find a motorcycle helmet. There was great disappointment on his face when he realized there was not one. Nothing, he said. Stick Dog was still thinking. Poo Poo grew increasingly frustrated as his ideas failed to work out. I'm just going to bark my head off, he said suddenly. I don't know what else to do. Great idea, said Stripes. I'm in, Mutt said, clearing his throat. All 3 dogs took deep inhales of air. Stop, said Stick Dog calmly. Don't bark. Stripes, Mutt, and Poo Poo exhaled. Why not? Asked Stripes. We're dogs. That's what we're supposed to do. Look, Stick Dog said. We're going to rescue Karen. Don't worry, but we have to be smart and quiet about it. Barking is only going to attract attention. From the giant bearded man, from Peter, the Frankfurter man, and from all the neighbors around here. It might even alert Phyllis to our presence, and we don't want that. Good point, said Mutt. Now, let's check out the back of the house and try to see inside, says Stick Dog, crouching down to drag himself slowly and silently on his belly. The other dogs copied him. Once we get a look inside, maybe we'll figure out a good way to get Karen back. They slithered around the corner to the back of the house. There they found a small patio with a grill, 2 chairs, and a table. Look, a grill, said Stripes. Remember those hamburgers from the grill at Picasso Park? Oh man, that was good eating. Best things I ever tasted. I can remember that glorious day, said Poo Poo, closing his eyes and imagining. Mutt was moving his jaw up and down slightly, almost like he was chewing. Sometimes I dream about hamburgers. Me too, Mutt. Hey, guys, Stick Dog said. I can almost taste them, said Stripes, whispering, now swaying slowly back and forth. Me too, moaned Mutt and Poo Poo together. You guys, snap out of it, Stick Dog declared. We have to rescue Karen. They all opened their eyes at once and shook their heads. Sorry, Stick Dog, Mutt said. It's just that we saw the grill and everything. We couldn't help ourselves. It's okay. Follow me. There's a picture saying, snap out of it. Can you see it? Okay. Luckily, there was a sliding glass door that led from the house to the patio. They scooched across the patio and peered inside. There she is, whispered Stick Dog. Where? Mutt asked. Still in the laundry basket, answered Stick Dog. See? The clothes are moving up and down every time she breathes. How do you know that's Karen? Asked Stripes. Yes, Stick Dog, added Poo Poo. How do you know? Stick Dog turned his head and looked at them both. We just saw her jump in the laundry basket a minute ago. Then we saw the basket get carried inside the house by the big guy with the beard. Now we see the basket inside, and there's something moving under the clothes. It's Karen. It could be somebody else, said Stripes. We don't know for sure. Of course we know, said Stick Dog. But without seeing her, said Mutt. We don't know. Yes, we do, said Stick Dog. It really could be anyone, added Poo Poo. It could be a chipmunk, maybe. Or a donkey. A donkey? Stick Dog asked, closing his eyes and trying to keep his composure. A small donkey, sure, Poo Poo said, matter-of-factly. Stranger things have happened. Stick Dog took a deep breath. I'm not sure that's true. Picture. Can you see it? Karen could have transformed into a donkey, said Mutt, trying to help. This made Stripes want to help too. Or maybe she's been a donkey the whole time we've known her, she said, but wearing a dachshund costume. Yeah, said Poo Poo, what about that? Stick Dog couldn't even speak. He had to think and act fast. He had to end this conversation, help Karen, and then finally get to the Frankfurters before Phyllis. His stomach felt completely empty. He tapped the glass door with his front right paw as slightly as he could, while still making a noise. When he did, Karen peeked out from beneath a pair of boxer shorts with her hearts printed on them. Mutt, Stripes, and Poo Poo began hopping up and down immediately. It is her! It is her! They all exclaimed at once. Shh, says Stick Dog. The other dogs lowered their voices immediately, but they were still jumping and twisting like crazy. I'm really, really glad she's not a donkey, said Poo Poo. It could still be a costume, said Stripes, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Okay, settle down, said Stick Dog. Now that we found her, we have to save her. Chapter 7. Oh, here's Stick Dog saying, shh. Chapter 7. Someone seeks a girlfriend. What? Okay. Karen stared at them from under the heart-decorated boxer shorts. She inched out a little farther. Her eyes darted quickly left and right, and then she hopped from the basket. She was excited to see her friends and began trotting happily toward them. Stick Dog raised his paws to signal her to stop. But it was too late. Obviously, not seeing the glass door and never adjusting her speed, Karen bumped her head right into it. She fell down instantly but popped back up just as quickly. She rubbed her forehead with her right front paw. The look on her face showed her pain, but it indicated sadness and frustration even more. She now knew it wasn't going to be easy to get back to her friends. Here she is hitting the sliding glass door. Stick Dog pushed his shoulder into the doorframe as hard as he could a couple of times. It didn't budge. Instantly, Karen's face turned from sadness and frustration to panic. On the other side of the glass, Stripes, Mutt, and Poo Poo were pacing and circling nervously. Stick Dog gave the doorframe a final shove, but nothing happened. It's locked, he said and panted. We can't get her out this way. Oh, yes we can, said Poo Poo. He took several steps away from the door, lowered his head battering ram style, and said, Stand back, everybody. Stripes and Mutt stepped back quickly out of the way. Even Karen, who couldn't hear Poo Poo, certainly recognized the familiar head smashing into something stance, stepped back on her side of the glass door. Stick Dog didn't move. Stop, Poo Poo, he said, holding up a front paw pad towards Poo Poo. We can't have you crashing your head through a glass door. That's dangerous. What about the wall? Asked Poo Poo sincerely. Stick Dog smiled. Yes, if we can figure out another way, then you can try breaking through the wall. Poo Poo tapped his forehead 3 times against the patio, then lifted his head and said, I'll be ready. After looking over both her shoulders, Karen came closer and put her front paws up against the glass. Her eyes were pleading. She dropped back to all fours suddenly, and then she was gone. Where did she go? Asked Stripes. She ran off, said Stick Dog. A single second later, he said, Quick, hide. She must have heard the human coming. Poo Poo and Mutt scurried behind the grill and some flower pots. Stripes ducked behind a big pot with a tomato plant growing in it. Stick Dog dove behind a chair. They could all still see through the glass door. And sure enough, the big man with the beard came into the room. Here they are hiding. He began searching through the laundry basket. "He's looking for Karen," Mutt whispered. "He's gonna find her," Stripes exclaimed. "I'm ready," Stick Dog, Poo Poo declared, bumping his head against the grill 2 times. "Just give the word." "Stay where you are," Stick Dog whispered. He was watching the human's movements closely and with great seriousness. "I'm pretty sure she's not in the basket again. He would have found her by now. She must be hiding somewhere else." "That's the strangest hat I've ever seen," whispered Poo Poo. He was staring at a fuzzy strip of material the man had placed on his head. "It's hollow," observed Mutt. Here's what they're looking at. It's a headband. "Now what's he doing?" Stripes asked from behind the tomato plant. She had already checked the plant for something to eat, but there were no tomatoes. It was too early in the season. "What are those things?" The bearded man with the strange, fuzzy, hollow hat reached into the pocket of his shorts and pulled out a wire. The wire plugged into a small box on one end, and from the other end ran along a long wire with a small white ball attached to it at the very tip. He took the small ball and pressed it into his left ear. "What the?" Mutt exclaimed. "What is that thing?" Poo Poo asked. "Maybe he's a robot." "Or an alien," Stripes suggested. "That must be his brain antenna receptor." Poo Poo nodded. "That explains it. No normal creature would shove something into his ear like that." "Shh," Stick Dog said. "He's a human, but I have no idea what he's doing." "Look, look," Stripes said urgently. "Is he dancing?" The man had spread out his legs very wide and now was leaning forward, trying to touch the floor. He did this several times in a row. Then he put his hands on his hips and rotated his abdomen in one direction for a few circles. And then he switched directions. Stick Dog, Stripes, Poo Poo, and Mutt stared at the human's peculiar behavior. As they did, it got even stranger. His head was rocking rhythmically back and forth while he grabbed his right foot and stretched his right leg backward. And then he did the same exact thing on the left side. "Ouch," said Stripes, watching in amazement. "What kind of crazy person would hurt himself like that?" Next, the bearded man balled his hands into fists and began to swing his arms back and forth. Simultaneously, he lifted his legs in turn, his knees rising and falling. The man suddenly stopped, dropped to his stomach, and pushed himself up and down from the floor with his arms. He did this 10 times, still rocking his head in a rhythmic manner. "Stick Dog?" whispered Mutt. "Can you explain any of this? This guy's scaring me. I mean, he's really scaring me. I think he's mad at the carpet or something. He's pounding it with his whole body." "I can't explain it," Stick Dog answered and shook his head. "Oh no, I think he's coming out. Be ready to run if I say so." Indeed, the bearded man with the wire in his ear had stood up and walked toward the sliding glass door. "Should we run?" Poo Poo asked. "Please say yes. I want to get out of here." "No, wait," said Stick Dog. "Hold still. I don't think he's coming out." The man did not reach toward the handle to slide the door open. Instead, he turned his body sideways and stared blankly at the glass. He then tucked in his belly and puffed out his chest. He did this several times, and then he left. The dogs all looked at each other with shock on their faces. They had never seen such a weird display of actions from a human. Finally, Mutt asked the question that all of them were thinking. He asked, "What was Mr. Beardo Strango doing there?" It was quiet for a moment while they tried to figure it out. Then Poo Poo provided a theory. "I think I know," he said. There was confidence in his voice, as if the correct answer had suddenly dawned on him, and he was quite sure of it. "What?" asked Mutt. "I've seen birds doing it in the forest," Poo Poo answered. "It's called a mating dance." "That makes sense," said Mutt. "Well, of course," said Stripes. "I was just about to think of that myself." Poo Poo, now gaining even more confidence from his friends, continued. That's why he did it in front of the glass door. He's hoping someone's watching. Mutt and Stripes nodded and then turned to Stick Dog. What do you think, Stick Dog? Do you think all that stuff was for a good reason? I don't know, answered Stick Dog. He then shook his head vigorously for a couple of seconds. It looked like he was trying to shake the visual memory of the human out of his mind. When he stopped shaking his head, Stick Dog tilted ever so slightly. Wait a minute. Quick! To the screen door to the front of the house. Follow me! Can you see it? Okay. Why? Poo Poo asked, tensing up, getting ready to turn. I'll explain when we get there. They ran along the side of the house to the front. To their good fortune, there was a line of bushes on either side of the front door. The heavy main door was open, but the screen door was closed securely. They hid out of sight between the house and the bushes. Panting and crouching there, Mutt asked Stick Dog, what's the plan? Why are we here? Oh, I've got some predictions. This is going to be easy, said Stick Dog, looking at each of them. That human is getting ready to exercise. He's going to come out any minute and ride a bike or run down the sidewalk. That's what he was doing in there, getting his body ready to move. You mean that's all it was? Asked Stripes. Mm-hmm, said Stick Dog. I'm not sure, Stick Dog, said Poo Poo doubtfully. Stick Dog was nodding in his head while listening to Poo Poo. He was also searching under the bush for something. In a few seconds, he had a long stick in his mouth. He dropped it right in front of them and addressed Poo Poo. I think he's coming out this door any minute, to either start running or biking. This was enough to satisfy Poo Poo. You're right. Either one of us could be correct, he said. What do we do when he comes out? I know how these doors work, said Stick Dog. They swing open fast when humans push on them, but they close slowly before slamming shut. We're going to hide right here when he comes out to run or bike or whatever. Or go hunting. Right, or whatever you said, Stick Dog. That door will close slowly behind him. He'll be several steps away, and I'll slip this stick into the door before it closes. It won't shut all the way. And we'll be able to push it open and let Karen out. They crouched down and waited for the bearded human to come out the door. After 3 minutes, someone did come. It wasn't the man with the beard. That's it for Chapter 7. Chapter 8. Wow. Okay, so we have Chapter 8. And I think there's a Chapter 9. Well, this is a long... Woo! That's a long chapter. Now we're Chapter 9. All right. Chapter 8 and Chapter 9 will be coming at you Monday. Wow, this is the first time a book has actually gone to the next week, but it's a pretty long book. In fact, even with pictures, it ends up being 220 pages. That's a lot of reading. We are at 161 so far. So, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a happy Friday. I had fun with you in the Zoom meeting last night. There was only 6 of you, but that's okay. I'm glad you guys showed up. We will have a Zoom meeting next Thursday, same time. Let's see. What do I have planned for the weekend? Well, I really want to barbecue now that the dogs have been talking about barbecuing. I was actually hungry for a hamburger this morning. Just reading that. I haven't had breakfast yet. I'm not going to have a hamburger, but that, oh man, that sounds really good for breakfast. Have you ever had a cheeseburger for breakfast or a hamburger? I have before, and oh my gosh, it is epic. I tell you that. So, yeah. Let's see. What did I do yesterday besides the Zoom meeting? I pulled weeds. Believe it or not. I also mowed my front lawn. Did some emailing. I did some cleaning around the house. I did some working out. Yep, that's where I'm at. Hoping to do some bicycling today with my son. What are your plans? I hope you have a great Friday and a great weekend. And I will see you on Monday for Chapter 8, which is called Plummeting Clumsily. You want to see a picture? That's all you get to see. All right. See you Monday.